WordPress. The one thing we haven't talked about a whole lot to this point here is the sidebar, and as far as what's going on over here. As you can see, you can put in different elements, and these elements are typically called widgets. There's an archives widget, there's a calendar widget, there's gazillions of widgets actually, and so I'm going to actually take some of these out. And the value of widgets, though, is that they are preset things that you can just plug into your page to hopefully enhance it and not just clutter it up. Also, if you were monetizing the site, you could put in some ad widgets to help create pop-up ads or whatever you might want to put on there. But for now, let's just go ahead and I can access widgets either straight through this drop-down, or I can go to my dashboard and just find it under appearance too. So that's a couple different ways to access widgets. So we'll just go there, and as you can see, it shows what's going on in my primary sidebar here. I have archives, and I might want to keep that. I might even want to keep my calendar or some of these other elements, but again, I could just go ahead and delete. So I'll go ahead and take out the categories one for now. And again, I can change the way they appear. I could put calendar above archive simply by clicking and dragging it. So a lot of different things that I could do here. But what I want to do at this point is just scroll down here and grab a very helpful widget that I found called text, and we'll add that one in. And what I want to do here is I'll slide that one right up to the top right away. And basically it just creates a box that you can kind of create whatever you want in here, especially if you have some HTML coding experience. It makes it pretty easy. But again, if you don't have a lot of coding experience, you can always go and copy someone else's HTML code into it and noodle around with that. So for now, I'll just put in other stories. I know it's kind of a boring heading here, but that's what we're going to use for now. And we'll go ahead and just save that for temporarily. Actually, I'll go ahead and cut out a little space for it because what I want to do here is, again, I'll just type in a little HTML code with basically a reference point here that's going to allow me to insert a URL right in between these commas. All right, and we'll put another little mark here. Back up just a second. All right, and then I'll put my title in here, which is going to be Too Severe for Deer, because I'm going to do a story about how severe the winter has been and what that means for their survival rates and that sort of thing. So I'm just typing a little code here that will allow me to create a link for this particular phrase, this headline, to a URL that's going to be embedded in between these little quotation marks. Okay, so I'll go ahead and save that work for now. And then we have to go create the page. So let's go create it. Oops, we'll go again to dashboard, down to pages, and we want to create a new one. And as we've already demonstrated in other tutorials, what you put in here as the title is going to be your headline. Okay, so that's the headline. We'll go ahead and insert media, and I just happen to have a handy-dandy picture of a deer that I took outside my living room window a few years ago, and I already happen to have a caption in here. I know I'm cheating here, but that works for me. We can pop that in there. Again, I want to justify this photo to the left. I don't need to link it right this instant. So yeah, we'll just go ahead and drop that in, and there it is. And I can also come over here with my cursor, we'll drop down, and again we'll provide White Brady, and I can put in some text here to get the story started, something like wildlife biologist, from the Michigan DNR, say blah 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 blah. Okay, and we could just write an article about what their estimates are for mortality rates and things like that associated with severe winters like the one we're having now, and what that means for people who like to hunt deer, watch deer, whatever. Okay, so that's the story, And also, again, as we create stories, we always want to come down here. Oops, I got my cursor in a bad spot there. Let's drop it down over here. And you can always tell or give the visitor a chance to go back home. Okay, if we can just spell that. Return to home. And so we'll create that here, right? And we'll create that link because that's an easy one for me to remember because it's just the Dwight Brady blog 1.wordpress, right, .com. And so that will always bring people back around. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and save the work that I've done here, and then I'm going to preview it. Okay, and this is going to be the actual page now that I want to grab some information for. Will ever take me there? There we go. Okay, so I'll just go up here now, right click on this because this is going to be the URL that I want to copy back into my text widget here that I've created for Too Severe for Deer. So let's now that I've copied that, we'll go to widgets. All right, and we'll open this up, and now right in between these quotation marks I can paste that URL. So it should go to this page, and again I've got the text that I want to link it to on there, so let's go ahead and save that and we'll see if this works. Again, you could do this with a listing of all kinds of headlines just here underneath other stories. It would just show up as text, but again behind that it would be linking to another page. Alright, so also I remember I created a new page, so I have to figure out what I'm going to do with that in terms of the hierarchy. So I've created this Too Severe for Deer, and I want it to be subordinate to another page. So I'll go in here because right now it doesn't have a parent and I don't want it to show up on my main menu. So for now I'll just park it under top stories. I could create another category called other stories too at the top. But we'll just put it under top stories for now. We'll make it third in the batting order. We'll just kind of park it there for now, and we'll update that. That'll clean up my menus a little bit, and it should be good. All right, so what I'm going to do is go back to the Brady blog main page here now, and we have our top stories, and we have this other stories here going on in the new text widget that we created. And again, I could have, as I build this out, I might have 4, 5, 6, maybe up to a dozen different clickable text items that are linkable to particular pages and stories. So I can just click under on Too Severe for Deer, and it takes me to my story. And again, I'm going to have to clean this up a little bit here as far as where that return to home goes, but we'd have the article and we just park this at the bottom and we'd have ourselves a nice little page. All right, so that's how we would do that with as you start updating the website with your little news briefs here, and also as you're linking stories in either under features or top stories. Again, hopefully this has given you a little bit of understanding as to how WordPress works and how you can use it not only for the class site but for your own site as well. So again, thanks for going through this, and again hopefully it's been of some help to you.